So today we're going to show you how you can create engaging animated stories using Microsoft PowerPoint by adding eye-catching animations so that you can knock the socks off your audience members during your storytelling sessions. My name is Hafiz from PixelStudio from Technology Services Group, or TSG in short, and I will be your host for today. And Viking also lah. Okay, so our star of the show today is the head of PixelStudio, Indra. Indra is by now a household name in NLB, where he saw through the inception of PixelStudio in 2013 and guided it from milestone to milestone throughout the years all the way until now. So apart from media arts work in PixelStudio, he also has in his NLB resume groundbreaking projects such as the immersive storytelling room located in a few of our branch libraries. With us today also we have other PixelStudio members, Rayan, Joel, Shafiq and Hannah, who are all assisting in running this session. And with that, over to you, Indra.
Thank you, Hafiz, for the great introduction. Hi, everyone. Okay, these are the few topics which I'm going to cover for today, which will get you started on how to create digital animated stories for your storytelling. With these skills, you can even conduct storytelling from a remote location. You just need to open up a space or maybe get your users to tune in and stuff like that. So let's try something different now, okay? Basically, I will share how you can find resources for your storytelling, how to find backgrounds, assets like pictures, graphics from free sites. These are very important. These are very important sites so you can get. Then how to insert and animate them, and also to enhance them with sound effects and background sound, stuff like that. And how to trigger them. We have a few immersive rooms like what Hafiz mentioned. Currently, we have one in Bukit Panjang and one in Library at Harbourfront. We call them Stories Come Alive Room, or SCAR in short. Okay, I designed and set up the first one in Bukit Panjang Public Library in 2016 and Library at Harbourfront in 2018. So go check them out if you have not done so. I mean, when they can start the immersive storytelling, maybe some of you got kids, bring them over to check out the immersive storytelling. Moving forward, this room do not just cater to just children programs. We are going to have contents for the general public as well. Things like interactive digital exhibitions, immersive presentation in 360 degree, as well as showcasing historical events in an immersive way so that we can bring history alive as part of our aim to promote learning in an immersive and creative way. So I also touch on how to animate them using the available tools in Microsoft PowerPoint. And you can see from the slide, these are the things that I'm going to cover. Under the filter and AR, we'll show you how to use filters and AR filters and how you can take on personas to make your storytelling more fun. Moving on, we need to know the purpose of creating stories in PowerPoint. So basically, the aim is to create engagement. All right. Some of you will agree with me. Sometimes when you conduct storytelling for the kids, they'll be bound to have like a few kids who run around and easily get distracted, which affects the session and the conduct of your story. So if you can show them something on screen, and if there are like animations on screen, this will help them to focus on the stories and give you better control of the session. Okay, that's one way. In doing so, you can also bring your storytelling game up a few levels using digital tools as we move towards like digitalization. And most of us are very familiar with PowerPoint, right? But we use it for presentation, text and stuff, but you can actually do more. So today you're going to learn how to do stories and animate them. So and in doing so, you're able to practice your creativity, which is actually a mental exercise, good for your brain. So let's now talk about the importance of storyboarding. First, you need to have a plan, basically. Okay, the storyboarding is a very important part of the pre-production process because it clearly conveys how the story will flow, as you can see how each slide interact and work with one another. It also allows you to see the potential problems that you would not go unnoticed. So ultimately saving you precious time. Okay, so we usually sketch out the flow of the sequence of animation out using the storyboard template as you can see on the slide. And you can also add notes below to describe the scene. Okay, oh, this person moved to the left and something will happen. So basically, whatever you have in your mind, put it down on paper, and from there you can analyze, see whether it gels or does it make sense. Okay. So as some of you already know, there are like 3 stages to media arts production. Pre-production stage, which is the beginning, which involve planning, conceptualization. The production stage, which is actually the execution of the filming process. So in this context, it is the process where you source for resources like graphics, sound and stuff like that. Okay, because there's no filming, right? Okay. And lastly, the post-production stage, which is commonly also called the editing stage, which you build the stories. For this context, is where you build the stories in PowerPoint and add the animation and music. So post-production also involves distribution after you finalize your cut. Where do you want to publicize the video or stories to? I'll be touching on graphics and sound, which are the two components of creating animated stories in PowerPoint. So where to find images and backgrounds? Most of the time, there's a subscription-based membership system. One example is FreePic to download images, graphics. But if you know what you need, you can actually download the necessary graphics, photos, or backgrounds from the internet. Some of these sources comes in 3D as well, graphics in 3D, which is supported by Microsoft PowerPoint. So when you want to do your animation, you can also use 3D objects for your stories. So PowerPoint itself has some 2D and 3D images and graphics in their database, which you can use. Some images and graphics require you to credit the creator in your references, and some can only be for non-commercial use. So take note of all these terms when you source for your graphics and audio. Okay, moving forward, touch on the sound. Okay, in your stories, you also need sound. For this context, sound can be categorized into two for storytelling. First is the background sound, and the other one is the sound effect. For example, when you load a scene of a jungle, right, the background sound will come in. It will be a very low level sound of, like, for example, crickets like chirping, birds tweeting, stuff like that. Okay, rustling of the grass and stuff like that. And for sound effects, it can be like, for example, when a bird flying across the jungle, or for the screen, you can have the sound effect. So those are the two things. But in filming, there are more components to sound, which I will touch on later. High standards music downloads that are royalty free can also be accessed using subscription-based membership. For example, atleast.io. You can download all these audio effects or background music for your production. However, sound effects are often sometimes uploaded by users on free platforms. So knowing what you need is key to finding what you are looking for. I can mention about this YouTube Studio. Okay, YouTube itself also have some free resources. There are lots of free audio which you can use from there. But again, check the terms of use. Just to share, in video production, there I mentioned earlier, there's not only two sound components, right? There are actually four. Okay, these are the key ones. First is the speech from the talents, like when you do acting and stuff like that. The speech is one of the sound component. Second is the background sound to create the mood. Sometimes when they are talking, if it's a sad movie, then you have a sad sound playing. Third is the sound effect to enhance the action. Example, when you draw a sword, shing, all those things. In reality, when you do that, sometimes you cannot hear, but you have people to do all these kind of things. Or maybe sound of door creaking or footsteps, which are all done by the Foley artists. Okay, they purposely take the shoe and put it on a wooden mat and just do all this kind of thing to recreate some of this sound that is supposed to be captured during production. Okay, so Foley, F-O-L-E-Y, complements or replaces sound recorded on set at the time of filming, known as field recording. Because some of them are very noisy, or what usually I will call it elemental, the dirty sound, a lot of hissing and stuff like that. So the Foley artist will take care of all these things and make the sound better and make the movie more realistic. So the sound will help in the believability. I don't know whether there's a word, even though it's an exaggeration, like, the sword coming out, shing, can you actually really hear it in real life? So typically you will not hear like a bird flapping its wings when it fly in reality, but you will hear it in movies. Okay, because this is to enhance the feel and the mood of the video or the film. A silent film will always make the audience feel like they are excluded from participating. In contrast, in the experience of the story, but a few sound effects placed at the right time will allow the imagination to come to life as the narrator explains the story to children. So later I will show you how to incorporate sound into your stories in PowerPoint. It's simple, just drag and drop. Similar treatment to graphics. Then you can also specify when to trigger it. You want to trigger it with this animation, or want to trigger it using your mouse click, all those things. Simple. Okay, moving forward. Next, I'm going to touch about settings. Okay, how to set up the PowerPoint in the immersive room, or like some of you only have one screen, usually just select the 16:9. Okay, so here I will talk about how you can get the right setting for your immersive room for those in Bukit Panjang and Harbourfront. For the rest, we just follow the 16:9 format, which can fit to most single projector for single screen in your library. So for those with 3-wall immersive projection, there is a template which has been created for you for story creation. In that template, it clearly shows the demarcation of the left wall, the front wall, and the right wall. So when you create stories, you know where the images will appear in reference to where you are in the room, and where to place your animation, and you have to like verify certain dimensions of the wall for the immersive room to choose the correct pixel aspect ratio of the PPT file, and import all the assets into a page in the file to make it easier to access. I believe those from HPPL and DPPL are familiar with all these things. The second point here is to know what resources or files that you can use for PowerPoint. Common graphics files like JPEG, PNG are vector graphics. Basically, you can scale it up and down without blurring the image, as opposed to JPEG. JPEG is just an image. Or GIFs and audio files. Some examples are the MP3 and WAV. Usually, WAV are the uncompressed ones, very large for better quality. But for things like this or internet, MP3 will be fine. For WAV file, usually they do for like audio mixing, sound recording and stuff like that. It is also crucial to note that some files supports transparency, for example, like GIF, right? Sometimes when you find an image, then you put it over to PowerPoint. How come there's a white background? I don't want that. In PowerPoint, you can remove that background, okay? So if you want really a clear background, so you want to have the white background, have transparency, you can search for like PNG files. It's how you Google. For me, if I want to search for like dinosaur with transparent background, I put dinosaur PNG transparent background, Google. There's a few come up. Or you can go to some of these sites that provide free images. They will have different classification of files for you to check it out. So JPEG do not support transparency, but you can remove the background as what I mentioned in PowerPoint. I can show you later if we have time how to do this, but it's under the picture format. Okay, then on the left top, there's this remove background. Then you can identify which areas to remove. It's that simple. Okay, then you click enter, the background all removed. GIFs, also want to talk about GIFs. Some GIFs are animated GIFs. If you download a bird graphic, it can actually fly with wings and stuff like that. So that creates a realism when you animate it. For audio, just use MP3. It's good enough. You do not need to use WAV, as WAV files are usually big in size and it's compressed. The dimension of the PowerPoint affects the placement of objects on the wall. So if it doesn't fit the length and width of the walls, the interactive story will be like less believable. All right. So far, only 2 libraries have this big wall. So the rest of you just focus on the typical 16:9 size in PowerPoint when you want to do this digital storytelling. Okay, next one, animation. Let's touch on animation. Okay, what is animation? Animation is a drawing that's repeatedly drawn to show the illusion of movement that is often evident when recorded on video, okay, and played in the fraction of the speed or sequence. The reason we choose interactive stories is to sustain the children attention. So why choose interactive story, right? Because it's the cool moving images and the changing images sequence accompanied by sound will create that immersive experience and also will keep the engagement level high. And it touches multiple centers, which stimulates the mind further and enables retention of information better. So this will be further enhanced if you include 3D assets, because 3D assets you can actually turn them, you can turn them and scale them up and down, turn them. 2D you can only just like that, but 3D you can actually turn them, right? So the latest PowerPoint that we are currently using supports 3D assets, the one that is in your SOE, yeah. Some of them are also available in their image database. So from PowerPoint, you can actually insert these 3D items which is available. Okay, please explore them. We used to organize this annual digital storytelling competition, or NDSC for short, a couple of years back, where we invite MOE schools like primary school and secondary school to come create digital stories, right? So some of them actually use 3D assets for their stories and animation. And after the competition, we keep all these stories for the libraries to use. To avoid confusion, it is always best to work on animating your assets first, like graphic files and background. Then you put the sound later. So I'm addressing the third point on how to combine music and art. Okay. Actually, the dinosaurs here is actually from PowerPoint 3D Bank, right? Very realistic. These are the sites which you can go to get free resources. Free Pick, very popular. VectorEasy. VectorEasy, if you want vector files, basically you can actually make them big, make them small without have that blurring effect. You can go to VectorEasy. Canva is actually like a PowerPoint kind of application where you can create something online, and they have like template. We covered this in one of our PixelStudio sessions. So if you want to check out the video, just go to our website. The last two is the place where you can go to find audio, YouTube audio library and freesound.org. So do check them out, okay? Next. Okay, now it's time for the demo, okay? Now we'll go through with you how to quickly add background, graphics, and animate them for your stories. I will also touch on how you can add sounds into your stories and program the sequence. So first, I'm going to insert the forest background, okay? The file name is oneforest.jpg. So what I'll do, I open up my folder where I keep all these assets, and I will just click and drop. Okay, pom, you can see, pom, that's one. But you need to fit it nicely lah. Right now, it's like, it's didn't here nor there. But take note, when you are doing this, if you stretch it from the top, right, or the bottom, you are distorting the image. Okay, but trust your eyes. You see whether is it okay. This is still fine. You know, over here, yeah, it's still fine. But the best is to pull it from the side. I believe you all know this already lah. Okay, let me do one more time again. Just put it at the corner, right? So this one you can pull at the side. You will scale it uniformly lah. So fill up all the way. Then let me reduce this. Then you can see it's a bit too long, right? So to remove some of this portion, you say, but when I remove it, okay, technically we need to cover the white area lah. So to remove the leftovers over here, what you can do is to crop the image. How to do a crop? You go to the picture format menu here. There's this crop. You click the crop, then these black handles will appear. So you just pull to the area that you don't want. I know, let's see, there's a white portion, right? The white background, the canvas. So just put on here. Okay, so basically this is a new size. This one you don't want. So you just click outside. That's the one. So it fit nicely. Okay, this is how you put your background. Okay, so let's just put it here. Next, let's put some animated GIFs. I want to put okay, let's look for, let's see. I want to show okay, let's put a flower. Flower.4. Then the name of the flower is forflower.gif. So I just put one flower here. As you can see, there's butterfly going. So let's position it somewhere here. Up to you lah, where you want to position it. So I'm going to put it here. But if I put it here, when the butterfly flies out of the frame, it will disappear. So I'll just shift it to the corner here. See, when the butterfly exit frame, it will exit out. More realistic lah. But over here, it will appear from this side. So I need to have something to cover this up. One layer in front of it to cover it up. So what I will use to mask it, I will insert a grass. So this grass is GIF, it's moving around, right? So let's put it somewhere here to cover. Okay, make it smaller. So in terms of the size, you can also change it lah. Items that is in front is supposed to be bigger than the back lah. So I just put it here, one here. Then it's more realistic lah. It's as though the butterfly comes out from the grass, right? Then let me copy this grass, or you can just pull another grass in. Copy, then make it smaller lah. All right. Then you can put as many as you want. You put somewhere here. Then maybe I copy, paste again. Then maybe I put some here. Then maybe I put copy this small one. You know, copy lah, right? Control C, Control V. Then maybe put somewhere around here lah. Or somewhere here. Then I'll do one more. Yeah, something like that. You got your set done already. Okay, next, let's insert some elephant. The elephant has a transparent background, so you don't have to remove any white spaces that comes with it. Okay, the elephant's a bit too big here, so I'll make it smaller. So what I want to do is to make this elephant appear to hop or jump. Elephant don't jump, but this one's storytelling for kids. Anything can happen, all right? From outside to jump like this. How to do that? Okay, first you need to put your elephant at the starting point. I want it to be out of frame. I put it here. Okay, then to animate this, you need to use the animation function. What you do is on the menu, you click on animation. Okay, on the top, animation, right? So what I'm going to do is to use this path I'm going to draw a path to animate the elephant. For I'm using a Mac so the UI is a bit different. So for those of you who use the SOE machine, right, it's still under animation function. Animation, add animation, scroll down up to motion path, then select custom path. Select your elephant, go to the path animation, select, then there's this pencil that appears. You click on the starting point, then you draw your path and let go. Then it will show you, see? So that's your motion path, that's how you animate. I want to insert another elephant, okay, and the other elephant from the other side. Shift it over here, then do the same again. Go to animation menu, select the motion path, then I will draw from here. Sorry, something like that, right? To do the control, you click on the animation pane over here. Then you can see, right, all these animation will appear one by one. First one is the elephant on the right, second one elephant on the left. You want the animation to appear on your mouse click, or you want the animation to appear after the previous animation has ended. So play around with all these effects. So that's how you control. Another way you can do through animation is through using transition. Okay. For example, if I want to make this elephant big, right? What you need to do is you copy this slide, right? Control C, Command C, Command V. You make another slide, right? Then on the second slide, you shift the elephant. Okay, maybe put below here. Then at the same time, you also want it to like increase its size. I just do a rough one. Then after that, you can use this more function here. Under transition, under more function, then you apply it to the slide, right? Apply. You can also do that, and you can do that. Stuff like that. Now it's an example of the story Elephant and the Beast. I'll just quickly run through, okay? The transition of a curtain. So it's as though that the drape is open, okay? So then after that, it's very loud. Sorry. How I program this, once the drape finish, right? Once the animation comes in, the sound of the kid or yaying will come in together. Right, so the sound will play after the elephant and the beast comes in. So that's how I program it. Right? This one, see? Can you hear the background sound of the forest? So the background sound of the forest, I program it to play after the forest scene ends. If you want the sound of the forest just to play over at this slide, can be done. Then there's a setting for you to loop, and it will continue, repeat. It will only stop until you move to the next slide. Okay, so for this story, I purposely put the text on screen so people can read along. Okay, the kids can read along. So I just quickly go through. Their noses were short, just like ours. How the elephant appears. So this one to make the elephant grow bigger. Okay, then one day the elephant were in the forest. There was a fire. So fire is also animated GIF. It will appear, right? Then remove. The next scene is one tree caught fire, then another. Then you just keep on repeating the fire, copy paste. Then this fire will appear first. The next click, the other fire will appear. Okay, soon the whole forest was on fire. You notice the background changed to red. Basically, what I do, I just put another red rectangle over. Then I reduce the transparency, which you can actually program in PowerPoint under the picture panel. So I'll just reduce the transparency so you can actually see the effect. Okay. Then after that, just add titles. This one all how to make the titles appear and stuff like that. So then move on, something similar. You introduce different characters. You can move. Those are the path movements. Right? This way or that way. And when you conduct the storytelling, you also must be engaging. Okay, this way or that way. Then they ask the audience to, the kids to follow you. This way or that way. Then you can repeat again. Is it this way or that way? Then you make the elephant grow or move in different direction and stuff like that. Those are the simple animation which I just showed you. Then the elephants call for help. Who came to help them? Oh, beast. Okay, the beast is also animated GIFs. I use two types of bees. One is the queen bee, and the rest are all the same bees. We just copy and paste, and it's animated GIF. That's why you can see the wings flapping, right? Follow us, we will save you, said the bees. Then after that, okay, all these are movements, simple things, and just now is also a movement animation, which I showed you just now using the path. Then next one, change scene. So change scenes, you notice there's this flipping or book flipping. That's part of the transition, okay, on the particular slide. Okay, then same movement, stuff like that. You can see the birds, animated GIF at the corner appearing, you know. Then the bees over here. Over here, there's also a partly red. I use that same technique, red triangle, reduce the transparency and fade over the other side, which you can also do that lah. Okay. Then the fire was getting closer and closer to the river. The bees were too tired to fly away from the fire. I'm not a storyteller lah, but you just see the bees turn. That one is also a motion path, right? You can also do that. See the queen bee also turn, and the other bees also turn. You can do that, right? Then you use your skill in storytelling lah to describe what you see here and get for the audience to participate. Then bzz, now you must save us from the fire. Open your mouth and let us go inside. We will be safe inside your mouth. Did the elephants want to let the bees to go inside? This is like prompting the audience, okay? Then after that, no, they did not, but they had to help the bees. Okay, what you see here is a different format. What I'm going to show you just now, I'll show you this one. Let me just enhance this or make it bigger. So all these are the ones that previously I do. You see there's a few slides which I just copy and paste, and make them the different movements and stuff like that. So over here, what I'm going to emphasize to you, what I'm going to show you, all these you can actually use for your single screen projector. But for this one, it's actually a template for Library Harbourfront. When I reduce this, you see, the background is bigger. So why is it so? Because the template for Harbourfront Immersive Room is bigger than the 16:9 for the one screen. This white screen here is only for a single projector. For Harbourfront, we have 3 projectors. One for the left wall, which is covering this image. One for the front wall, which is here, which you can see using this white border. And the other one is for the right wall, which is over here. So when you load this size of template to Library Harbourfront PPT, right? All these images will appear on the 3 walls. So you can actually play around with all the other walls. But usually most of the activities will be done at the center because people are sitting down and watch at the front. So, but imagine the bees flying from the left walls, then stop at the front walls, then go and fly again. So you got more place to play with for all this animation. So this is how I just want to give an example of the different types of animation that you can do to make your stories. Okay, basically you see the assets that I use here is just like the background, fire, 2 different types of bees, a few different types of elephants, and how you program using the functions in PowerPoint. Let me talk about the filters and AR-based lenses. So if you conduct your storytelling online, it'd be good if you take on a persona. If the story is about Shrek or about the flower, about Ratatouille or about dinosaur, you can take on that character, use the AR filter like what Hafiz is using just now. He's using this Viking AR. So how to use this? So basically, what you need to do is you need to download Snap Camera. Okay, this is the logo. You just go Google for Snap Camera. That's the logo, Snap Camera. And you go to snapcamera.snapchat.com. So you can download this and integrate this to Zoom. Then install it in your internet PC. Okay, the one that's running Zoom. Okay, how to do that? Let me show you. Okay, this is the website snapcamera.chat. You go and download, then install. Then you launch it. Once you launch, you can see something like this Okay, you can see me, right? So this is my filter. Let me see my favorites. What do I have? Oh, I want a big hair. Stuff like that. Or I want just to wear a spectacle. Or maybe I want to have this is what Hafiz used just now. Okay. You can have like a rancher. A lot of things can become an alien. You can become Shrek. Hi. You can become anything, Baby Yoda. Hi. So once you use this, all right, once you launch Snap Camera, what you need to do is to go to Zoom. Let me pull my Zoom window here. You can see Zoom, right? So you can see this video. Then you click on this small arrow button. Then Snap Camera will be there. So you select Snap Camera rather than all the other cameras. I have a few webcams here, okay? Use Snap Camera. Select Snap Camera, straight away there. Go there. Then you go back to your Snap Camera application, which is this one. Then whatever you change here, it will reflect in Zoom. You see this anime, stuff like that. It's simple as that. So when you are presenting something, you can take on different persona to bring up your storytelling level to a different level, okay? So yeah, you can use Snap Cameras and filters for you to like enhance your storytelling, okay? So remember to download and explore for yourself. I'll just switch this off. I'll just go back to my normal face. Okay, now it's Q&A time. Any question?
It's from Yasho. How do we manage the file size if it's too big?
Okay, there's two ways to compress your files, okay? It can actually reduce 50 to 60%. Okay, two ways you can do it. Because just now you remember, when I insert a big file, a picture, right? I only use some portion because I crop the picture. I don't want the other portion. The smart thing about PPT is, right, there's this function where you can compress all these things and you only take whatever you have selected and the rest they will ignore it.
First, click on any image on your PowerPoint, for example this one. Then under picture format, click on picture format under the menu bar. Go to this icon. Okay, this is the compressed picture icon. Click on this. Then the dialog box will appear here, right? Then uncheck apply only to this picture because you want to compress all the pictures in the PowerPoint. So uncheck this. Then we have selected for web, which is 150 ppi. Then click OK. Right? All your pictures, for example, this one, every picture in your PowerPoint slide will be compressed. And we also have some videos, right? We also have some videos. So in order to compress the videos, you go to File, over here, File, go under Info, okay? Then over here, under Media Size Performance, there's this Compressed Media, okay? Click on this, then select Standard 480, use when space is limited, such as when sending presentations via email. So you click on this, the dialog box will appear, then it will detect all the videos inside your PowerPoint and it will do the auto compression for you.
By using this function, you can actually reduce two things, the size of the video and the size of your images. Okay, they only keep whatever you want to show.
A question from Mei Chen. She wants to know how do we add sound?
Oh, just drag and drop. But for sound, you put it outside of the canvas. Yeah, sound you can put it outside of the canvas. If not, when you put under presentation mode, you can actually see this icon. Okay, I already insert that. And it's up to you how you want to program the sound. When you launch your slide, you want to play or you want to control it by click. And that is the same function over here. There's this audio format. You can do all your formatting and playback is all here. Right? All here. Click sequence all these functions. Explore yourself. Volume also you can change. Change low so you will not scare your listeners. You can fade in, fade out, all these are there. But remember to select the file first. You select the file, all these things will appear. The new menu or under audio will appear. It's that easy, just drag and drop. Then if you want to sequence it with your animation, you can also do so under the animation panel. Okay, you will appear all under the animation panel. Right? Explore yourself. Okay? That's how you just drag and drop. Okay? Any other questions?
We have a few from the chat or the Q&A. I take from Q&A, we have Pan Fong. She's asking, may I know how much time did you use to create this PowerPoint demo, excluding the sourcing of music, images, and storyboarding?
Right. Imagine once you have the storyboard, once you know what to do, it's easy. You give me 5 files. From that files, I can make a lot of things. Make things moving here and there. The important thing is to know what is your story. So that's why you need to conceptualize it, you need to put whatever you have in your brain to pen it on paper using the storyboard template. And once you know how to do about it, then it's going to be very fast lah. So it depends on how long your story also lah. All right. If for libraries, they just do like short stories like 15 minutes and stuff like that. You can play with like 5 to 10 slides only. Okay, it's the way you present it, the way you engage your audience. I can just use one slide of elephants moving around here, but I can spend 2 or 3 minutes on that slide itself. It's like you ask it, you pull them. Who is this elephant? What is the color of the elephant and stuff like that. You know, like all those small talks. It can make the presentation alive to engage your audience, right? So even like with 5 slides or 10 slides, you can occupy like maybe 15 minutes of storytelling or 20 minutes of storytelling. It's how you engage the audience lah. So my answer to you, even with 5 slides, you can have a half an hour story. It's how you engage and how you deliver your story. Okay. If we create these animations on a newer version of PowerPoint, is there a chance that it will break an older version of PowerPoint if we open up? Older versions sometimes don't have the more function. Simple animation they will still have lah. So since we have the new one, just use the new one, right? The new one will usually have more functions compared to the old one. So not an issue. If you have the old animation, you bring over to the new animation, it will still run lah, right? If not, maybe it will have more functions for the new version. That's how software works lah. So not to worry. Whatever you create now, right? Then like 2-3 years later, you have a new version, it will still function. Don't worry, right? Unless you are using you're inside at home, you use the old one. Certain function will not be there. You know, like the more function, you cannot even use 3D. You know, it don't support 3D. 3D, I think from 2019. MS Office 2019 onwards, but ours we use 365, which is the latest one on ISOE. There's more functions for you to explore, right? So don't worry.
Wait, Cho.
Yes.
I think we have one last question from me.
All right.
She asked, can PowerPoint be used for social media platforms?
PowerPoint, IG, cannot lah. IG you just upload unless you save it because IG, Facebook, because these are interactive. You need to trigger them. You need to trigger them. One way you can do is to, once you have all this animation, you save it as a video. Okay, so imagine you have all these things. Okay, but if you want to make a video out of your animation, right? So your triggering must be one after another. So it cannot be based on mouse click. So under the animation panel, it must be sequence. So via sequence, what do I mean sequence? Once you load, right, the sequence will start. Imagine the elephant will come in. Then there's also this function on delay. Okay, the animation will come in, the elephant will come in, jump, stop. 2 seconds later, the other elephant will come in, stop. 3 seconds later, the next slide will appear and the birds flying. So you need to program that in order to create an animated video, which is possible using PowerPoint. Okay, slightly more. It's simple, but slightly more things for you to consider lah. So once you imagine you have all these program, right, with one click, the things will work by itself, the animation will flow by itself. Then you need to save it as a video. You go to File, Export. Then you can see over here, file format, PDF is no PDF, MP4, MOV. These are the 2 formats for video. Save it as a video. Right, for me, I don't want to save now lah because it's all based on clicks and stuff. So imagine that story. Just now I have to go back and make it auto lah. So the animation will flow one after another. Right, under the animation panel settings, you do all those things. Then you save as MP4 or MOV. That's it. You got one video. Then you can upload to Facebook as a video or IG. To reinforce learning, whatever I've shared, I have 5 questions for you. So please participate. Oh, you guys still figuring what name to select?
We got one last person. Now it's 17 players.
Okay, start the quiz lah. Question 1 of 5. If you answer quickly, you got more points. Okay. The storyboarding process falls under which production stage? It's MCQ lah. I give you chance lah. Pre-production, production, or post-production. You have 15 seconds. But if you answer faster, you get more points. Oh, everyone's answer. Not bad. Pre-production. Correct. It's not production. Production is when you are sourcing for your stuff. Pre-production is all the planning stage, right? The storyboarding, you plan you plan your stories during the planning stage. Okay, pre-production. Okay, next one. Let's see the result. Who's the fastest? AA. AA. Not bad with 86 points. Let's go. Next one. Question 2 out of 5. This question rewards more points for fast answer. Which one of the file format is not a graphic file format? Okay. Is it GIF, WAV, or PNG? One of them is an audio file format. It's not a graphic file format. Very easy lah, right? You're all familiar with this. Yay! Alamak! 3, PNG cannot lah. PNG is portable network graphics. The G is graphics. Right? Yes, correct. WAV. WAV is uncompressed audio file. Oh, it is TikTok Hello. Come on, hello. Question 3 out of 5. And the question is, which one of these websites can you download a royalty-free image file for free for you to use for your animation? FreePic, Vecti, Z, Canva, or all of them. Download graphics, backgrounds, the elephants and stuff. All the above lah. Yo, 3 question all of the above. These are all graphic website. Okay, never mind. We learn. It's okay. We learn. That's why the quiz is important to reinforce learning. Okay.
We have Snape on top.
Oh, Snape, not bad, Snape, Professor Snape. You can only animate 2D assets in Microsoft PowerPoint, not 3D assets. Is it true or false? I mentioned this a few times. Just click. Which one? Yeah, false. No, there's 3D assets also that you can animate. Okay, in PowerPoint. Very advanced already now. Seriously, yeah. Okay, Snape. Oh, Snape is on top, Not bad. 1 point.
So close. 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point difference. Okay,
last question.
This is, make it or break it. Last question. Which NLB library currently provides the 3-wall immersive projection? Okay, we have immersive storytelling room in which library? Is it CTPL, HBPL, PRL, EPPL, or BBPL? You all know all these things. Correct. You kena trick. It's not BBPL. It's BP. Bukit Panjang, not Bukit Batok. Right? See? CTPL coming soon. PRL will come first. Then after that, we'll put. But HBPL, the correct answer is HBPL. Okay. Let's see who's the winner. Oh, Professor Snape. Well done. Yay. Well done. It's a way for us to refresh, okay, all these things.
Hey, so thank you, Indra, very much for sharing those useful tips on creating short stories in PowerPoint. So I hope that you all have learned a few tips and tricks on how to make engaging animated stories for your future storytelling sessions. I also like to thank all of you for attending today's session, and thank you to Indra for presenting and the rest of the PixelStudio members for assisting in running today's show. Yes, thank you very much. If you'd like to revisit today's topic, if you find it interesting or you missed out on certain parts, don't worry, we'll be uploading the recording of today's session on PixelStudio's YouTube channel. Then also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get the latest training videos. That's very important. Please support our YouTube channel. If you need more information, just drop us an email or call us and we will help you as much as possible. So, to this end, stay safe. PixelStudio signing out. Take care, bye-bye, and enjoy the weekend.